Today's interview is with Patricia Reed, a results-driven and strategic technology sales, business development, and sales management professional. She is a mentor for female founders and the founder of Reed Estate. We asked Patricia about her favorite books for both business and non-business, and she told us, "For non-business, I loved Atonement by Ian McEwan. The portrayal of vastly different interpretations and outcomes from a single moment was thorough, unvarnished, and raw. I agonized and worried about the main character and turned pages as fast as I could, hoping for resolution. As for a business book, I loved Good Strategy, Bad Strategy by Richard Rummelt. It had many stories and examples about how strategy is often misconstructed and what leaders can do to ensure they have a proper strategy." We asked Patricia, was there a moment specifically when something you read in a book helped you? Can you tell us about it? She replied, "I've been reading a few non-fiction books recently. One in particular was useful, Why Won't You Apologize? I've noticed how defensive people can be, yours truly included, versus apologizing. It helped me understand the need to apologize for whatever part of a situation I contributed to, even if I don't feel that it was necessary. When my kids mess up and conversations escalate, I often ask them, 'What are you doing right now?' They are able to identify their being defensive and then choose to apologize, which de-escalates the situation as they recognize their responsibility. I tell them, children don't apologize, but grown-ups do. It's an important lesson and one I'm still learning for myself." We asked Patricia about the books that had the biggest impact on her, and she said, "The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, as well as A New Earth. Understanding the ego and being able to separate it from self is a powerful thing. It has changed my outlook on people and situations and made me able to see my inner critic for what it is and choose how I want to engage or respond to situations." We asked Patricia about the books she would recommend to youngsters interested in her professional path, and she gave us the following 3 titles. Book number 1, Crossing the Chasm, classic on how to grow product market share. Book number 2, Getting to Yes, Negotiating Agreement Without Giving In. A great book on negotiations, although my best learning was doing classroom role play. Book number 3, The Minto Pyramid Principle. For would-be consultants, a very dry book on how to write effectively for business. We told Patricia, "We're interested in finding out more about your reading habits. How often do you read and in what format?" She said, "I read mostly online. For books, I've started listening to a lot of audiobooks. I never skip to the end of a book to see the ending, but I do quit books that don't capture my imagination. I tend to borrow novels from the library or pick up one that my husband has bought." We asked Patricia how she makes time for reading, and she said, "I read best on vacation, away from distractions. At home, I find audiobooks have been the best way to read. I listen on the bus, putting on my makeup, wherever. I even got through Anna Karenina by Tolstoy recently. An audiobook was less daunting than the huge book. I never would have made it all the way through." We asked Patricia how she takes notes or if she has any other technique for conquering the torrent of information. She said, "I'm kind of a hermit. I have a broad range of topics I'm interested in, from nutrition to politics, not to mention technology. I listen to a number of podcasts. I tend to choose ones that make me happy and open my mind. The Moth, This American Life, How I Built This, and Oprah Super Soul Conversations. I keep up with the news at a high level, but I don't like podcasts about it." We asked Patricia how she chooses the books to read next, and she told us, "Often, for beach-type reading, I'll choose an author I know and enjoy, like Jodi Picoult. If I want something that stretches me, I'll ask one of my coaches. Bestsellers lists are also good, and I like Bill Gates' recommendations. He and Melinda have become such inspiring people." We asked Patricia, "Do you prioritize the books recommended by certain people? Is there anyone that you consider a book recommendations guru?" She said, "My family reads voraciously, a lot more than I do. I'll ask them sometimes. Occasionally, my son will beg me to read something he loved. Our tastes are quite different, but his excitement is enough to make me read it. On a side note, I'm often asked how we got our children to love reading. I have my husband to thank for modeling, but also our being strict about screen time allowance. Their love of reading is the best friend they will ever have." Last question. What book are you currently reading and what are you expecting to gain from it? Patricia replied, I'm currently reading The Sympathizer, which has won many awards, being a New York Times bestseller and recommended by Bill Gates. It is unusual, as it is written by a Vietnamese American, and I don't remember ever reading anything that talked about a particular immigrant experience. It's funny, enlightening, and serious all at the same time, a rare accomplishment. This was our interview with Patricia Reed. If you want to find out more about her and her projects, visit her LinkedIn profile at linkedin.com/in/Patricia Reed. You can also find all the books and links mentioned in this interview in the video description. Thank you.